What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the 11th video in the Cashing In on Short-Term Rentals series. My name is Alex Jarbo. The series is brought to you by the Strategic Advisory Board and my company, the Build Don't Buy Short-Term Rental Masterclass. So in this video, what I want to be talking about are my 3 favorite tools to help you manage your short-term rental. So in the last video, what we talked about are the 3 people that you need in your company. And now what we're going to be talking about are the 3 tools that you need in your company. So there's 3 tools. There is an automated messaging tool, there is a dynamic pricing tool, and then the third thing is going to be a digital guidebook. So the first thing, an automated messaging tool. A property management software is what this is going to double as well. My favorite tool to use is a company called Hospitable. And what Hospitable does is it allows you to put your property on multiple platforms, mainly Booking.com, Airbnb, and VRBO. And then it acts as a channel manager where it brings in all of the messaging and all of the tools into one platform, essentially. Which, if you plan on listing on Airbnb, VRBO, or going multi-channel, which is what I recommend doing in my course, I recommend using a tool like this. So this tool doesn't cost that much. I think it's like $20 per property per month. But it will automate about 60 to 70% of your messaging. And I'm going to log in here to show you guys. This is one of my accounts. But you can see I have 133 scheduled messages. And if you go into here with the guest experience, going into messaging rules, you can see all these different messages that get pushed out based off of what what the rule is. So if like a new booking inquiry, it automatically fills in the guest's name. It'll put in the city automatically. It'll put in their check-in day, their check-out day, guests, nights, everything. And then what I like about this tool, so like when a check-in instructions, you can sort of structure it for when the guest is checking in, checking out. A check-up message is one of my favorite things I like to do. But you can see that it puts in the guest message here, and then I also like to put this, which is really cool, which is important. Please call me for anything urgent. Anything that is not urgent, please send a message directly through Airbnb or text my number. And then also here in the new booking inquiry, I'll also put PS. This is an automated message, but I do read every message and I'll address any questions shortly. But you can put in like checkout instructions right before the guest checks out. You can put in a review request, which gets sent out the day of after the guest checks out. Just asking them, hey, if you loved your stay at our property, please consider leaving us a 5-star review. If you didn't like your stay, please let me know before you leave your review. And that sort of helps us, one, improve the guest experience, but it also sort of shields us from any bad reviews and allows us to get in front of it before a guest reviews our property if they didn't have a good time at the property. What's really cool about this is it also allows you to do automated, there's review rules is what they call them. So 3 days after a guest checks out, as long as they didn't damage my property or anything crazy, they automatically get a 5-star review from me. Because on Airbnb and VRBO both, you can review the guests the same way that the guest can review your property or you. So I just put, I have this review rule, very simple, just it automatically fills in the guest's first name and it says, was great, quick to communicate, and left the place spotless, look forward to hosting them again. And that gets automatically pushed out. And you might think, okay, like that doesn't seem like too crazy, but once you get 3, 4, 5 properties, you have to review the guest, or Airbnb will sort of flag, they don't say this, but they will flag your listing and your account and sort of like rank you lower if you're not reviewing your guests. So that's one thing that will save you a lot of time and a lot of headache. Is a tool like that, and that automatically comes with Hospitable. So that's your automated messaging and your automated review tool, and then it also acts as like your property management software, where all the messages are sort of populated from all the different platforms. So that's your automated messaging, and then this covers about 60 to 70% of the messaging. In the last video, I talked about virtual assistants. The virtual assistant handles that other 30 to 40% that doesn't get covered by this tool. The next tool, what I want you guys to consider, is a dynamic pricing tool. So gone are the days where you can just set your pricing once, forget about it, and then change it every couple weeks based off of what demand you're seeing. This tool automatically does that. It plugs directly into Airbnb, it can plug directly into Hospitable, and it will adjust the pricing of your property every single night based off of what your local short-term rental market is doing. Airbnb already has a pricing tool like this, but I will say that based off of using that tool and this tool, their dynamic pricing tool works way, way, way better, and it integrates with all the different pricing or all the different like PMSs, the property management software is like Hospitable. You can also set some really cool rules in here that you can't really do with Airbnb. A good example of that is like you can set like 2 weeks prior to someone booking, 30 days prior to someone coming into your property, you can start discounting your property up to 20%. Until someone books your property. And then with this, you can set a base price, a minimum price. I don't recommend setting a maximum price, but you can do all that stuff with a dynamic pricing tool. And I believe, again, this tool is about like $20 a month per property per month. Total, you're probably going to spend like between these three tools I'm talking about, you're probably going to spend $50 a month per property, which is nothing because it's essentially acting, each one of these tools acts as its own like person that you would have to hire. And good luck trying to hire someone for $50 a month to do half or a quarter of what this can automatically do. So the very last tool I want to be talking about is a digital guidebook. And my favorite digital guidebook is made by a company called Hostfully. And they also have a property management tool like Hospitable, but I just like to use their guidebook. And then what this guidebook can do is you can put this in your automated messaging where this creates a link to a digital guidebook that a guest can see before they check in. And you essentially plan their trip for them. So when a good example of this is when my wife and I traveled last year to Tulum Beach, Mexico. Before we checked into our resort, our trip was essentially planned for us before we even checked into the property. They were like, hey, here are all the best restaurants in the city. If you want to do like a clubbing day, here's all like the cool clubs in this area, like the nightlife. Here's all of the cave diving, because like Tulum's known for like caves and stuff, like underwater caves or underground caves. And you could, like when we checked in, we could essentially just take those different days and like piece together our favorite things in that guidebook and create our own day around that. So that's the idea behind this. So like if we click see examples here, you can see all the different, like this is essentially what the guest would get when they're checking into your property. Stuff like that, access to Wi-Fi. You could put videos in here on how to like operate, if you have a hot tub or anything that's weird in your property that you feel like a guest would struggle with. To minimize messaging, you can put like messaging back and forth. You can put like a video on how to fix something in the property if it breaks, or how to operate, say, like a coffee machine, a hot tub, microwave stove. You can put all those videos in here. If the internet breaks, you can put like a video on how to reset the internet and then tell them to check out that video when they ask for like Wi-Fi instructions or something. So that's why I love this tool. Again, this tool is like $10 to $15 a month per, let me double check that currently because they changed it. Oh, it's only $8. So premium, you can sign up for free, like literally free today, or you could pay $8 a month, or sorry, $10 a month if you go month to month. So total $20 with Hospitable, $20 with Price Labs, and then $8 with Hostfully for the digital guidebook. That's that's exactly $50 a month per property per month. To essentially, if you didn't have this, you'd be hiring 3 separate people to do this. So these are my 3 tools that I love to use to help me manage my property. And hopefully you guys see some value in these tools because, again, they've completely helped me transform my business. If you guys want to check out all my favorite tools, because I mentioned like over 20 of them in my short-term rental development course, the link to that's in the description below. In the next video, what we're going to be talking about is sort of tying everything together. This was the 11th video, going to go into the final 12th video of this series where I'm tying everything together. I started with the first video of doing a case study, and I'm going to finish it up with a final video going through a massive case study that we just actually finished up on the last like 6 months. And I'm going to go through my numbers, go through everything that I taught in the last 11 videos and sort of tie it together with this final property. So stay tuned for that. Thanks.